Hello and good evening, Samajanalai. Namaste. So this is going to be our first ever talk of the Himalayan Kop show, which we've started, and we did have a couple of plans to get started with it. So we're finally going to do it, and I think it's the right occasion to do it as well. So I would say we're finally done with the waiting. Liverpool are going to be playing in about 1 hour and 15 minutes. So to get started with this, we have a couple of guests as so first and foremost, we have Mohit. So I'll keep on. You can go on introducing yourself, Mohit.
Okay, hi everyone. This is Mohit. If For those who don't know me, I've been associated with Liverpool, Nepal for quite some time, for a few years now. And Nishal, me, and other admins from Liverpool, Nepal have been a very good friends for a few years, watching games together and all. But since I've moved to US a few years back, that's impossible. So hope to get back together again soon.
Okay, so thank you, Mohit. And next up, we have Bardan, who will be joining us.
Hello, everyone. This is Bardan. Super excited about the season coming back. A little bit about myself. I tried to be a really active part of the group when I was in Nepal, but just like Mohit, I moved to the US a few years ago, so haven't been able to be as active as possible. But hopefully, with virtual networking now, we'll do more of this. So really excited about this and the game. Cheers.
Thank you, Vardhan. Our next website, I think we have a familiar face. We have none other than our own Binod Dai.
हेलो नमस्ते भेरी एक्साइटेड छु हैन मोर देन 100 डेज पछि कम ब्याक भएको इन फ्युचर अब अझै क्राउडको चियर गरेको साउन्ड सहित हेर्न पाओस् हैन त्यही हो शुभकामना अहिलेलाई चाहिँ एनी अब म्याच स्टार्ट भएको छ हैन एज अ लिभरपुल फ्यान त्यो इनिसियल त्यसको त्योभन्दा ठुलो खुसी कुरा अहिले केही छैन हैन धेरै अन्यल थियो.
Okay, thank you, Vinod Dai. I think the last phase is going to be the last, but definitely not the least. So I'll be introducing him. So I don't think he'll require any introduction, but here he is.
Hello, hi, Nishal, Mohit, Bardan, Binod Dai. Good evening, good morning to the boys in the US, to everybody in Nepal, and everybody who would be watching this right now. I think these are exciting times. Why? Because personally, I thought the Premier League was done. मलाई लागेको थियो अब Premier League हुँदैन, but it started off, and this is the year. Just 2 more games to go. That's all I can say.
Thank you, Paras. Thank you so much. Hey. So yeah, so as we all know, it's been a very long wait. I'm listening to you. Hello. Do you have any problems hearing?
छैन ठीक छ. मोहितलाई सुनिन अरे मोहितको.
Okay. So I'm gonna say about it's been a very long wait to get back to football. Okay, so we'll sort that out later. Right? So we've been waiting the wait especially for football to be back, and more so for champions for the Premier League to be Liverpool's once again, right? So okay, how do you feel about football being back? So Mohit, what do you think? Like, were you worried at any time?
Add me again.
Okay, let's just a minute. Hello, Mohit, can you hear me now?
More cancel got a phase one go.
Okay. So yeah, Mohit will be joining us a bit later. So Badhan, what do you have to say? Like, how do you think would the season pan out? And but just obviously because of the pandemic, we had to stop, and then our last game was also ended in disappointment, exit from the Champions League. So how have you taken things, and what do you think? Like, what should be the outcome of the going forward? Like, how do you think? How do you feel in general?
Looking back retrospectively, I never imagined, not in a million years, that we'd have football after 3 months. So Atletico's long ago game, it ended in disappointment, of course, and the season what happened then? Arteta got a positive test back. So after that, I thought this was absolutely just going to end. पहिला त अब नलन भोइडै होला जस्तो लागेको थियो होइन पहिला त अब because speculations were all over the place यताउता त्यसपछि League One PSG they basically said null and void, nothing's going to happen. This was England man त्यही हुन्छ जस्तो लागेको थियो but I think project restart जुन सुरु भयो नि सबैतिर I think they did an amazing job because life's health above football, health above everything first, absolutely true, but life has to start in some format, some form. And with the current format we have with players getting tested every 2 days, this is absolutely the way to go forward. And I'm super proud of the Premier League, super proud of Bundesliga to begin with, because they really showed us the way. And the win which German football led this was incredible, amazing. So retrospectively, I never thought this would happen. I thought would be given the title because England that Alan Boyd was never on the table. Teams had to get relegated, teams had to win titles, teams had to get promoted. So I definitely thought we'd get the title, but asterisks on it, was not a dot like that, okay? Because the other teams would never let us live that down. And 30 years, boys, okay? Definitely wanted to win it without the asterisk, and I don't think there'll be one anymore as long as we win the next 2 games. So super excited, really proud of the Premier League, given all their given how incompetent they've been in so many ways in the past. This is one area in which they absolutely have not. So absolutely kudos.
Okay, Mohit, what do you have to say about the league being back, and how were you worried it was going to be cancelled, because there was a lot of noise about null and void or points per game or all that sort of talk? What do you think?
Yeah. I was super scared about the null and void brigades out there, who was like always saying health above all and stuff, and of course like people and health above everything. But it was always the case that it would only start when everything is safe and sound. And knowing Premier League and how, like Bardan said, like in so many cases it's been like incompetent, I was really scared that it might actually be null and void. But then once Bundesliga started, I felt very positive about it. And since the many meetings that they had for the project restart, and when all the clubs were like in par with like restarting the season, I thought even if the season gets cancelled, points per game भयो पनि अब टाइटल चाहिँ आउँछ जस्तै लागिरहेको थियो. But I was still in doubt about season सुरु हुन्छ कि हुँदैन. तर after Bundesliga started, I was like, it's Premier League. अब अरू लिगहरू पनि सुरु just the Premier League मा नि pressure त आउँछ. Since it's one of the best leagues in the world, they have to match what other leagues are doing. So since Bundesliga, Serie A, and La Liga were given green light to start, I was like actually positive that it's going to restart, and now we're here finally starting, and just 2 more games to go. Just hope everything goes well for the next 2 games now.
Okay, yes, like Mohit said, about 2 more games to go. And Binod Dai, what is your take on the league being back? Like, were you ever worried cancel हुन्छ भन्ने, or तपाईलाई चाहिँ points per game मा सिधै दियो हुन्थ्यो जस्तो लागेको थियो कि के थियो?
जसरी यसको त्रास फैलिएको थियो, जुन यसलाई अब त्रास भन्दा पनि महामारीकै रूप लिएको थियो, त्यतिखेर चाहिँ यो चाहिँ हुन्छ जस्तो चाहिँ लागेको थिएन. पछि जाँदाखेरि चाहिँ त्यही अब त्यो यसलाई शून्यमा झार्ने, अब त्यो नो च्याम्पियन नो रेलिगेसन भन्ने कुराहरू आइरहेको थियो. त्यतिखेर चाहिँ डर एकदमै लागिरहेको थियो, किनभने अब अलमोस्ट होइन, अब 30 इयर्स भइसक्यो. लास्ट 3-4 ओकेजनमा चाहिँ अब सेकेन्ड भएको होइन, एक्ज्याक्टली भन्यो भने सेकेन्ड इज नथिङ भने जस्तो. अब अहिले त अब स्योर सर्ट जस्तो भएको बेलामा चाहिँ गएको थियो. तर अब एकाएक आशा चाहिँ कहाँबाट आयो भने युएफएले जसरी हुन्छ त्यो देशको लिगहरू चाहिँ सकाउ भनिँदाखेरि चाहिँ अलिकति आशा थियो. अनि त्यसपछि त्यो डिस्कसनहरू अब समाचारहरू फलो गरिरहँदाखेरि चाहिँ के लाग्यो भने उनीहरूले चाहिँ यो लिग चाहिँ एनी हाउ त्यो नभए पनि रिजल्ट बेस चाहिँ मान्छ जस्तो लागेको थियो. किनभने अहिले चाहिँ अब जस्तो 9वटा गेम बाँकी हुँदाखेरि चाहिँ क्यान्सल गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ भोलि नजिर के राख्ने त भन्ने एउटा गाह्रो हुन्थ्यो तिनीहरूलाई. त्यो हिसाबमा उनीहरूले रिजल्टको को हिसाबमा भए पनि अहिलेसम्मको म्याक्सिमम पोइन्टको आधारमा त्यसलाई क्याल्कुलेसन गरेर भए पनि दिन्छ जस्तो चाहिँ लागेको थियो। तर टु बी फ्रेङ्क सुरुमा चाहिँ अब चाहिँ त्यो महामारीले ठुलो रूप लिएपछि चाहिँ गयो जस्तो लागेको थियो।
ओके, त्यही हो, सबैलाई नै अब त्यही नै वरि थियो होइन। पारस दाइ, how worried were you?
I think the worrying part is done. The I don't know it's like the start of a tournament. When as a player, I can imagine how the player must have felt when it all ended abruptly. So, as a suru हुँदैछ, I think these are exciting times for all of us to be Liverpool fans. For once, I hope we're not jinxed just in that. It's been what 30 years we've been waiting for this moment, and again, of all the time it had to happen, COVID-19 had to come at this time. So we're glad this is over. The Premier League's here. Football's back. I don't know. I was thinking I would probably maybe travel to the UK. I know these are plans that I had made within myself. If cricket could schedule, I was thinking of going into the victory parade as such. But again, I'm just happy that the matches have begun, and hopefully we can pull it through. In sports, you can never take anything easy. There are times when we have taken things easy and things haven't worked out for us. So hopefully the team will do well. I believe in the boss. Jurgen Klopp is the man. I think he's the one who has changed the fortunes of all of us. And this is it, boys and girls and everyone who support the Liverpool Football Club.
Okay, yes. Yeah. About सबैलाई थाहा भयो अनुसार अब football is back, and we've been watching a couple of games, and it's not the same because obviously there are no fans. Obviously, but they've done something to make that alikiti bhe pani easier for us to watch, or for to create a sort of atmosphere. And how different do you think it is going to be for anyone playing in an empty stadium? Paras Thai, being an athlete himself, and how much does the crowd matter in a match? And obviously, like, since it's Anfield we're talking about, how much of a difference do you think it is going to make?
It depends. For most of these athletes, I think growing up, it's been a different experience. Why? Because when you become a professional athlete, things change. There are a lot of people who come to watch you play, and things change automatically. But growing up, I'm sure all of these guys have played in stadiums and places where there haven't been enough people, or very few people who'd watch them play. So it's just maybe it would be like going back to your grassroots. For ourselves as well, when we play at let's say our TU international guys, when we practice before a tournament, there are hardly any people. But when there are matches around, you get the atmosphere. One of the biggest factors for any sportsman is when you play sport, the crowd really gets to you, and that is really a motivating factor. But here, these are like they say, unprecedented times where you cannot control things, and we'll have to stick by it. And again, at least football's there. I think just for myself, just having gone to the cricket ground a week ago, post 80 days of lockdown, just that feel of that bat and ball is something where that is the best feeling. And I can imagine for all these footballers just to be back on the field training, and now that the matches have started, and for all of us and for most of the players, I can see that it's going to be a lifelong dream that's going to be true. So these are the things that would probably be motivating them. So again, it would have been great to see a lot of people out there to have things, like it used to be during normal days. But right now, we need to appreciate what's happening around the world and follow the guidelines. And in the end, it's about getting hold of that trophy. And once things get normal, we have a whole lifetime to celebrate, and probably keep repeating this every year from now onwards for as long as we can.
Yeah, obviously. One question, like, since you are a professional athlete, and one of the comment section, any question has been put that as a player, and do you think it'll be difficult for the players to start where they left off?
Depends how good they have or how they have shaped themselves. See, sometimes sport is such that you could score 100, like in our sport, you could score 100 on a zero the following day. So it's very frustrating. They've been paid so much money. There's so much of fan following. There's so many people with so many good wishes. So they'll probably be in their best shape as much as possible. But then again, these are professional athletes where they know what to do and what not to do. So they should be out there, trying to get in shape. But again, we're coming through a situation where the world has never seen itself shut down like the way it's been over the last, 3.5, 4 months. And it's everyone going through the same from one country to another, from one continent to another. And hopefully the players have managed to stay awake. And like I said, it's much better than staying at homes. It's great that for them to be outdoors and playing the game that they love the most. So for these players, I can see that they'll probably be very, very happy right now that they're on the football field, putting in the best effort. And it's just that feeling of being there. That is I'll probably put into those are things that you cannot define in words.
Yeah, exactly. Our football is back. The players are back, and obviously us fans are back. And also like we have a late joiner in. I'd like you all to. Okay, I like everyone introduced to Jaydai, who's been living in the UK, who has been with us since a very long time, and he's been to Anfield multiple occasions, and he's also been to I'm gonna say black tie dinners that are hosted by the club. So here's Jaydai, who's from the UK himself. So I'd like Jaydai को चाहिँ views के छ त like what do you think about Project Restart? Were you worried that the league was going to be cancelled? Like since you've been living in the UK and the football is taking place in the UK, के छ त तपाईँको चाहिँ?
Thank you everyone. Good to see you all. सुरुमा चाहिँ त्यो मार्चको सेकेन्ड विकमा युकेमा एकदम डेन्जरस सिचुएसन हुँदाखेरि स्पोर्ट्सहरू अझै पनि चलिराख्दा चाहिँ डर लागेको थियो अनि पछि गएर उनीहरूले क्यान्सल गर्दा इन अ वे चाहिँ आई वाज रिलिफ बिकज दे वाज वे गोना सेभ सो मेनी लाइफ्स म कुनै पनि बेला यो स्पोर्ट्स फुल्ली क्यान्सल हुन्छ नल हुन्छ भोइड हुन्छ भन्नेमा चाहिँ म थिइनँ किन भन्दाखेरि बिकज अफ भेरियस रिजन्स स्पेसली फाइनेन्सियल रिजन्स एट द एन्ड अफ द डे यो सबैको लाइभलीहुड हो फुटबलरहरू मात्र होइन कि देयर इज अ ब्रोडकास्ट डिल there is sponsorship deal, there's so many things, so I don't think it was ever gonna happen. Obviously opposition fansहरू चाहिँ नि यो नल एन्ड भोइड भइदियोस् लिभरपुलले नजित्योस् भन्ने त्यो अब इन अ वे द्याट्स अ ब्यान्टर होइन तर I never thought it was going to be cancelled. I was always of the opinion it has to start but when it's really safe to do so. मलाई चाहिँ लागेको थियो यदि if it was possible, if FA, UEFA, FIFA, प्रिमियर लिग यिनीहरू सबैजना मिलेर यदि राम्रोसँग कुरा गरेको भए चाहिँ सायद सेप्टेम्बरमा रिस्टार्ट गरेको भए एकदम सेफ हुन्थ्यो जस्तो लाग्थ्यो मलाई किनभने बाई सेप्टेम्बर मान्छेहरू वेल एजुकेटेड भइसक्थ्यो भाइरसको सिचुएसन कस्तो छ थाहा भइसक्थ्यो अनि त्यसपछि गएर स्पेसली इन द युके हाम्रो यहाँको कल्चर हाम्रो जस्तो नेपालको कल्चर हाम्रो एसियाको कल्चर कस्तो छ भने हामी मास्कहरू लगाउँछौँ यहाँको कल्चर त्यस्तो छैन यहाँ मान्छेहरूलाई चाहिँ मास्क लगाउनु भने चाहिँ नि ओ माई गड यु कान्ट ब्रिथ भन्ने जस्तो हुन्छ अनि त्यो कल्चरलाई बिस्तारै लिएर आउन एकदम गाह्रो भइरहेको थियो यहाँ पब्लिक ट्रान्सपोर्टहरूमा मान्छेहरू मास्क नलगाउने कम्पलसरी गर्दा पनि नमान्ने अनि त्यसपछि इभन लकडाउन भइरहेको बेलामा पनि मान्छेहरूलाई बाहिर नजाऊ भन्दा पनि जाने सिचुएसन वाज रियली रियली ब्याड अनि यहाँको गभर्मेन्टले चाहिँ एकदम डाउन प्ले गरिरहेको थियो सिचुएसनलाई जस्तो every day there's so many people dying but they were in a way they were lying to people in the sense that they didn't want to scare people to be honest तर फ्याक्ट चाहिँ के हो भने इट्स नट ओन्ली स्पोर्ट्स यसले धेरै इम्प्याक्ट गरेको छ युके इकोनोमीलाई वर्ल्ड वाइड आई नो इट्स द सेम थिङ स्पेसली हाम्रो नेपालमा झन् कति धेरै प्रब्लमहरू छ तर मेन कुरा चाहिँ स्पोर्ट्स चाहिँ रिस्टार्ट हुन्थ्यो आई वाज भेरी कन्फिडेन्ट आई वाजन्ट स्योर वेन I was hoping it was going to be in September, which I felt was going to be extremely safe. They have done it now. We are there in a way, very excited. Yeah, there you go, kura.
Okay, yes. So, but like we're almost like minutes away from kickoff, and it is the big one of the biggest games that there is to be played in this season for us Liverpool fans. That is the Merseyside Derby. So I think the lineup is also in. I know. How are you guys feeling? Mohit, do you have any nerves or case or like?
So from where we left off, I'm kind of positive right now, but knowing it's a derby, and you never know. Derbies are never as easy as we think when we play Everton. But yeah, I'm like kind of in between. Like I'm a little bit nervous, but then deep inside, I think I'm confident too. But I don't know. It depends on how players take off from where they left off, because it's been like more than 100 days that they have not played. So let's see if they are in a good shape. I'm sure we should be fine.
Okay, yes. So talking about the lineup, I can see that we are starting with Keita and Minamino, and I think Salah has dropped to the bench. Maybe it's a fitness reason, but okay. But then, how do you think? What do you make of the team selection by Jurgen Klopp? And do you think it is going to be an easy day out in the park, or do you think Everton will trouble us on our way to the 19th Premier League title?
Well, I definitely don't think it's going to be easy. I think this is definitely going to be the hardest match of the season, and rightly so. Both teams haven't played for 100 days, so form goes out the window. First of all, there's no point making predictions, in general, just because form is out the window. 100 days, Boisagyo, who knows what's going to happen. But I am a little bit surprised by his selection. I thought Salah's definitely was going to play, but I don't know. He might have taken a bit of a knock. Klopp might be being cautious with Salah, but I another thing I'm really scared about is this season. If we look back at the season, the only losses that we've really had have come against teams with two up top. And uh, the most notable losses: Watford, two strikers up top; Napoli, two strikers up top; Atletico, two strikers up top. But त्यसमा अर्को एउटा कुरा थप्दा, we're against Ancelotti, who's beaten us in the past, who knows us very well. So I definitely don't think it's going to be an easy game, but the one thing I'm really optimistic about and positive about is we are the fittest side. We are the most physically Wandahari. In training wise, Wandahari, we're the fittest side. Klopp, he goes hard on the players as far as fitness and training goes. So maybe that'll carry us through the over the line, but it's definitely going to be hard. I think it's going to be incredibly tight. But I think Everton have also kind of played themselves, especially with Richarlison's comments. So I do think there's going to be a bit of weight on Richarlison's back just because of what he said about Van Dijk. So I think that's going to be playing in his head, and that's definitely going to come back to haunt him, hopefully. But it's going to be a hard one, I think.
Yeah, so another notable absentee from the lineup is, I think, Robertson. Robertson has missed out because of fitness reason. So, Binod, do you think it is going to affect us immensely? Like Bardan Sigdel, so we've struggled with players with teams that have played two up top. And Everton will probably be playing two up top, and with a defender, like out and out defender less. Like, will it affect our game plan too much not having Robertson?
डेफिनेटली रोबर्टसन चाहिँ मिस हुन्छ होला जस्तो लाग्छ, तर जति पनि टाइम रोबर्टसनले खेलेको छैन, मिलरले त्यो पोजिसन चाहिँ फिल गरिरहेको हुनाले चाहिँ त्यस्तो लाग्दैन कि मलाई ऊ हुन्छ। तर डर्बी गेम होइन, डर्बी गेम चाहिँ त्यति सजिलो हुँदैन, स्पेसली एभर्टन होइन, एभर्टनसँग। अर्को कुरा भनेको अहिलेको कन्डिसनमा अब मोर देन 100 डेज होइन, को प्लेयर कति फिट छ भनेर थाहा हुँदैन होइन। मोस्ट प्रोबेबली त्यो पनि एउटा रिजन होला, सबै प्लेयर त्यो पुरानै सेपमा नभएको कारण पनि। अनि अर्को चाहिँ अब यो हाम्रो चाहिँ भनौँ न 100 डेज अगाडि चाहिँ लिभरपुलको जुन लाइनअप छ सधैँ त्यो एउटै फर्मेटमा थियो। मेबी युरोपियन क्लब इज होइन, अब एकदम सरप्राइज मान्छे हो होइन, सरप्राइज म्यानेजर, सरप्राइज कोच। उसले चाहिँ अब एभर्टनले एउटा टार्गेट गरे हुनसक्छ लिभरपुलको लाइनअपलाई लिएर, त्यसलाई चाहिँ मेन्टल भनौँ न, अब साइकोलोजिक गेम खेलेर सुरुमै लाइनअप चेन्ज गरेको हुनसक्ला। तर अर्को पार्ट के हो भने चाहिँ जस्तो मिनी मानुअल राखेको छ, त्यो चाहिँ अब अलमोस्ट लिग हाम्रो भइसकेको हुनाले चाहिँ, लिभरपुलको भइसकेको हुनाले चाहिँ नेक्स्ट सिजनको लागि तयार गरेको पनि हुनसक्छ जस्तो मलाई लाग्छ।
Okay. might be अब सुने अनुसार हामीले पनि लाइक अहिलेसम्म इन्टरभ्युज यताउति सुने अनुसार चाहिँ what we've been hearing is Keita र Minamino have really looked sharp in training होइन. And अब to look in the past अब अहिलेसम्म हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ Minamino and Keita both have had their struggles होइन. So Paras, what do you think? Will they do good today? आजको म्याचमा कि do you have any concerns about the lineup, or how do you feel in general about it being the Merseyside Derby, and is Klopp taking a gamble?
See, it's a fresh start. I think both teams, I mean, all teams are starting fresh. So that way, I think it'll come down to how much, hunger there is in all these players. Like I said, I'm sure the players from Liverpool know what's at stake right now. But again, it's not going to be easy because it's Everton, and like Bardan just mentioned that this will probably be the toughest match of the season. Having considered everything that has happened around, and I hope we can come out of this game. And moving forward, it's just a matter of staying in the process. Uh, the manager must have laid down a new foundation as to how to go about the remaining 9 games, and then moving forward, how to go about everything. So looking forward to it, and fingers crossed we can come out of today with a positive result, and step by step make it through. That's all I'm hopeful for right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so if you look at this squad now, we do not have much cover attacking wise, and there was a lot of talk about Timo Werner joining in, and apparently like we pulled out of the deal, and then he's now gone to Chelsea. As much as the Chelsea fans would like to say that they beat us to the signing, but it was actually us working out and then they stepping in. So Jaidai, what do you think? Like, do you think there are certain areas of the squad that needs improving, and if like there are some players that you identified personally that you'd love to see Klopp sign?
मेन कुरा चाहिँ कस्तो लाग्छ मलाई भन्दाखेरि हाम्रो टिमलाई टुगेदर राख्नुपर्छ कि जस्तो कुनै पनि सक्सेसफुल साइडहरू इन द पास्ट के हुन्छ भने एउटै टिम when they play regularly for like 3-4 years, I think that is the biggest strength. So मेन कुरा भनेको अहिले हाम्रो मेन प्लेयरहरू ब्याक फोर, गोलकिपर, साला, माने, फर्मिनो, यिनीहरूलाई चाहिँ क्लबबाट छोड्न नदिने, उनीहरूलाई न्यू कन्ट्र्याक्टमा राख्ने, because they know each other, they play for each other. First of all, यो कुरा चाहिँ continuity दिन सक्यो भने not only this season, next season and the season after, because they are still very young. First of all, we have to keep them together, and maybe again, I personally felt Adama Traore, a player like him, he's a big player. Someone like that gives a completely different dimension to the team. Someone like that, I think, is actually very good for us. Maybe one player like that, someone to back up in defense, I think we'll be absolutely fine. I don't have any doubt. I think we're in a really good shape. अनि अर्को कुरा कस्तो हुन्छ भने कप कम्पिटिसनलाई नगनिकन लिग मात्र हेर्दाखेरि हु इज अराउन्ड यु पनि हेर्नुपर्छ क्या हामीले मेरो विचारमा जस्तो म्यान्चेस्टर सिटी हेऱ्यो, चेल्सी हेऱ्यो, म्यान युनाइटेड हेऱ्यो, टोटनम हेऱ्यो, अरू टिमहरू वेयर आर दिज अदर टिम्स एन्ड वेयर आर यु, त्यो हिसाबले हेर्दा आई थिङ्क we've got a perfect balance, we've got a brilliant manager, and I actually believe our ownership is doing fantastic job. So I think the future is really bright for Liverpool Football Club. And what I would also like to say, especially to young generation of Liverpool fans, you have to be very patient. You shouldn't really criticize too much about the team when they don't perform. You have to support, stay positive. So yeah, that's why I think maximum two signings, and I think we'll be okay for next 3-4 years, because you have to look at the age of the team as well. I think we've got really good balance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, so they really put one thing forward, that is like we have to have patience as Liverpool fans, and our generation know it more than anyone else because of we've been through some dark times and are almost facing relegation, but we've come far, and now it is somehow we've come like we've done pretty good. We've won the Champions League, we've won the World Cup, we've won the Super Cup. So I think FSG are to thank for every bit of the success, and I know they come under scrutiny time and again. So, Vardhan, what is your take on like how FSG have run the club, and then do you think there'll be any major signings? coming in after the season is over?
I think FSG, in my lifetime, FSG have been the best owners we've had, no doubt. They do come under, like you said, they do come under scrutiny all the time. But I think that's because people also have this cynical point of view as far as FSG go, because they know FSG as this American business organization, which they are. But that's exactly why they know how to run a successful club. They've done it in the past, and they're doing it with us. Uh, Knee-jerk reactions move, and I think we're really good at that. And right now, Timo Werner would have been a. I do believe that um, I do believe that you need to strengthen when you're on top, and I would have liked to see Timo Werner come our way. But as Klopp said, when you're negotiating, when you're telling your players that they might have to take pay cuts, you can't take on someone who's going to be on 250K a week. That just isn't done. You're furloughing your staff. We tried to, which was terrible on our part, and then you can't go ahead and sign someone for 50 mil. So I think the focus has to be readjusted just a little bit. I think, this season we're not going to make big signings. We're probably going to bring a couple players in. I think Ryan Fraser, who's been left out of the Bournemouth squad because he doesn't want to sign a contract extension, would be a good squad player. I think he'd be great. And I think another player might be controversial, but I think another player we could be looking at right now is Arsenal are in absolute shambles. I think it's time to go for Saka. I think Saka might be able to turn his head, might be come in for 15, 20, 25 mil even. Apparently, he's not too happy there, who would be right now at Arsenal. So I think these little players here and there, with the scouting got it. I think we're in good shape for next season, but you definitely have to strengthen when you're on top. So you got to do that. You saw Kai Havertz, Mbappe, all of this. It's not going to happen right now. We're in the middle of a pandemic. We try to furlough half our staff. So that's not going to happen. Let's be realistic. Let's look at the small players in and around England. By the area, and I think the best we can do right now is to unfollow all the transfer rumor pages on Twitter. Stay away from that for a year. Klopp knows what's going on, so just trust the process right now.
Yeah, exactly. Like Bardan said about Mercedes, transfer scouting has been a really commendable thing, because we've unearthed those hidden gems. And Andy Robertson, like 8 million ma signing, nobody thought he would do it. Even like Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain before the injury hit, he was doing pretty good. So Mohit, what do you think? Like Team like, should continue on the model that FSG and Klopp seem to be going after, or like, do you think there should be some big signings? Obviously, there's also talk of Coutinho rumors, and they're not going away. Like as much as the way he left sucks, what do you think like about the scouting, and then about a possible return for Coutinho?
I think I'd agree with whatever Jade I said earlier. Like our team is really good. They've been playing together for quite a few years, so nothing's better than a great chemistry between the players. So big players, I would say, doesn't make sense to bring in who would want to go into directly into starting 11, like whoever we bring, unless someone leaves. So which I hope no one does. But I'm really bummed about Timo Werner as much as I would have liked him to come in, because it's he was not just about replacing our playing instead of one of our top the front three players. He could play with them, could play with one of them, and for one of them. He was just 24 too, so it could have been a long term replacement for one of our players. That's the only thing that I'm kind of gutted about Timo Werner. Other than that, I don't know if it's money. I don't know if he demanded more game time. We don't know, but I'd like to believe Klopp on this, because he said it does not make sense to bring those expensive players when you're asking your players for pay cut and stuff like that. And I think 2 or 3 signings would have been best for us. I do agree with Bardan when he said when you're on top, you have to strengthen yourself. So we don't have a proper backup for our left back. So if Andy Robertson gets injured, touchwood, we don't have a proper backup for him. I know we've got Milner, but again, Milner playing as a left back does not give us that dimension that Robertson gives us. And I think our midfield is kind of aging too. And I don't know what it. I'm not sure about Guetta yet. He's a great player, but his injury history makes me quite skeptical about how he's going to turn out in the team. So maybe that's the reason today starting Minamino and Guetta, since looks like we won't be buying uh, much any players this transfer window. It's high time like they start playing and getting into the team more often.
Yeah, obviously the pandemic like all that case, yeah, about everything, like all the transfer activities have been affected. It's not just going to be us who will be suffering, and but it's a global thing. It's being like the same condition across all teams. About, but still I think there are certain areas of the squad we could improve upon. Binod, do you have like identified any particular positions that you would like Klopp to sign, or like a couple of aging players who you would see, you'd like to see like slowly being brought in? And also Harry Wilson is still on loan at Bournemouth, I think. के छ तपाईको विचार? Would you want to have Harry Wilson back in the side for the next season, or should we like sell him?
ह्यारी विल्सन चाहिँ ल्याउनुपर्छ जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई होइन। अर्को अप्सन भनेको एडम टारर पनि हो। अनि जस्तो अघि टिनो वार्नरको बारेमा कुरा आयो होइन, म त्यतातिर लाग्छु एकचोटि होइन। जस्तो नयाँ प्लेयर ल्याउँदाखेरि चाहिँ उसलाई स्क्वाडमा कसरी राख्ने होइन, कसरी सेटल गराउनेहरू कुरा पनि जरुरी हुन्छ जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई होइन। अब उसलाई त्यत्रो ठुलो उयसमा ल्याएपछि चाहिँ उसले अहिले जो लिभरपुलबाट पर्फर्म गरिरहेछ, अब साला, इभन माने, इभन भान्डाइक होइन, इभन एलिसन बेकर, उनीहरूको के हुन्छ भन्ने पनि हुन्छ होइन। एज अ ओभरअल चाहिँ जेनरल फुटबल फ्यानको रूपमा हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ म एउटा इक्जाम्पल दिन्छु। जस्तो एलेक्सिस सान्चेजलाई चाहिँ अराउन्ड 400K लिएर आएको थियो पर विक्समा होइन, म्यान्चेस्टर युनाइटेडले। अनि त्यसपछि चाहिँ डेभिड डिजियाले चाहिँ के भन्यो भने मलाई त्योभन्दा बढी चाहिन्छ भनेर। अनि एज अ म्यानेजर त्यो चाहिँ सेटल गर्नलाई चाहिँ धेरै गाह्रो हुन्छ जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई। जस्तो टिमो वार्नर लिएर आएको खण्डमा त्यसमा कुनै डाउट छैन, टिमो वार्नर बेस्ट प्लेयर हो होइन। अहिले उसको स्टार्सले पनि सबै बोलिराखेको छ होइन। तर टिममा सेटल कसरी गर्ने त? उसले सबैभन्दा बढी पैसा लियो भने अरू प्लेयरहरूलाई कसरी इफेक्ट गर्छ त्यसले, त्यो कुराहरू ध्यान दिएर होला सायद नलिएको। तर अब जस्ट लाइक अब लालाना गइरहेको छ होइन, मिल्नर पनि एकदम एज भइरहेको छ, स्टिल ऊ चाहिँ एभरग्रिन हो होइन। साकिरीको बारेमा पनि भन्नु सक्ने स्थिति छैन। र अघि नै उसले सायद मोहितले कुरा उठाएको पनि थियो होला होइन, एउटा भनौँ न वैकल्पिक हिसाबमा चाहिँ लेफ्ट ब्याकहरू मा चाहिँ त्यो पोजिसनहरूमा केही पोजिसनहरूमा हामीलाई चाहिँ प्लेयर्स चाहिन्छ टेक्निकल।
Okay, the valid point though, but there are a couple of players. But I think I'll take a question from the comment section. This is, I think, directed towards Mohit Tara, since it relates to captaincy. Who better to ask the question than to our previous captain, Paras Khadka? So the question says, now that it's almost certain LFC lifting up the Premier League title after 30 long years, how weird you gonna feel when realize it won't be Steven Gerrard would be lifting the title? So what do you make of the captaincy that has been transferred to Henderson? How much of a deal his growth has been, and how would you feel about like transferring captaincy to one of your teammates? So what do you think?
I think it all comes down to how people perceive things. I think in sports, sometimes a position is overrated. I've always believed that because until and unless you start doing well, or when you do well, when you start winning, people talk good about you and about the team, and because it's a team game, whether you play football or cricket. Especially when you talk about Liverpool, I think the biggest reason that I've always said is it's because of Jurgen Klopp. I mean, Stevie G is somebody where growing up, somebody I've idolized in so many ways, but I always wanted him to, win a Premier League. It didn't happen, but again, I'm sure when Liverpool wins the Premier League this season, he'll be the happiest. So it's about the association. It's about staying in and that team ethics and environment, and just about fighting for each other. I think team sport demands a lot. It takes a lot of individual brilliance put together to come up with a winning formula, a winning a set, a winning I would say a habit. And right now, I think we have developed this habit of winning games. I think they've been, over the years we've seen, successful teams in the Premier Leagues winning matches in, after 85 minutes in the last, dying seconds. And when it started happening for us over the last year, especially this year, you start to believe that it is this year. And I believe uh, destiny has its role to play in sport. And it all came down together where this whole generation of footballers came together into this club. And like I said, Liverpool is in safe hands as long as Jurgen Klopp is handling things, and I believe in him. And as long as he's there, we can all settle down. We can talk about football, debate as to what's right and wrong. The boss knows what's to be done and what needs to be done.
Hmm. Yeah, well, exactly. About talking further about Henderson, how much of the role he's played, and about we know we signed him from Sunderland about the Agadi. I think recently it was almost 10 years that he's joined the club. Kenny Dalglish brought him in from Sunderland. Joy Dai, like, how much of an leader do you see in Henderson, and how did you feel like when the news came out that Henderson was going to be the next captain of Liverpool? There were other better players, but I think he's grown into the Arman and he's done the Arman justice. So, what is your take on how Henderson has grown as a player and then as a captain and as a leader?
टाइमिङमा हेन्डरसनलाई क्याप्टेन बनाइएको थियो, त्यो टाइमिङ अलिकति गाह्रो थियो कि एज अ फुटबल क्लब लिभरपुललाई। अनि हुन त अरू राम्रो प्लेयरहरू थियो स्क्वाडमा, तर इन माई पर्सनल ओपिनियन देयर वाजन्ट सम वान हु क्यान एक्चुली टक टु एभ्रीबडी, एन्ड आई थिङ्क एज अ क्याप्टेन द्याट्स भेरी इम्पोर्टेन्ट। आफ्नो स्क्वाडको सबै प्लेयरहरूसित बोल्न सक्नु, उनीहरूलाई परेको बेलामा हेल्प गर्ने एउटा भोइस हुने, त्यो एकदम इम्पोर्टेन्ट हुने कारणले गर्दाखेरि टाइमिङ रङ भए पनि धेरै क्रिटिसिजम उसले पायो बिचरा है, तर एकदम एकदम राम्रो। अनि त्यसपछि गएर एटलिस्ट इफ यु लुक एट सिन्स युरन क्लब टुक ओभर द क्लब, त्यो टाइमिङ हेर्ने हो भने यस्तो राम्रो क्याप्टेन ओभरअल इन द प्रिमियर लिग, आई डोन्ट थिङ्क देयर इज एनी अदर बेटर क्याप्टेन देन जोर्डन हेन्डरसन इन एभ्री वे पोसिबल। इभन ड्युरिङ द लकडाउन उसले नै सबै इनिसिएटिभ लिएर यहाँको एनएचएसको लागि सबै च्यारिटीको काम गर्ने, द्याट सोज यु के एज अ लिडर it's not only the football, it's behind the football, behind the scene, things we don't see ourselves. त्यो सबै हेर्दा उसले एकदम राम्रो गरेछ। अनि प्लस उसको गेम इम्प्रुभमेन्ट पनि छ। इज अ भेरी हार्ड वर्किङ गाई, यु क्यान टेल, नो ननसेन्स, उसको पर्सनल लाइफ पनि एकदम एकदम ब्यालेन्स लाइफ। सो इट अल गोज टु सो यु as a person, if you go all these things balanced, you can be a really good leader. त्यो वेमा हेर्दाखेरि उसको पर्सनल इम्प्रुभमेन्ट, उसले गरेको टिम प्रतिको कन्ट्रिब्युसन, त्यो सबै हेर्दा आई थिङ्क इज द बेस्ट क्याप्टेन। I've always defended him. Lots of people scream at me on Twitter when I actually defend him long time ago. Not anymore, because now we're winning, so everyone thinks everything is brilliant. But when we were not doing well, when team was losing, but when I was praising Henderson, I used to get like hundreds of comments criticizing it. Oh, कुन म्याच हेरिरहेको छु तिमीले, त्यस्तो कमेन्टहरू आउँथ्यो। तर I always believed in him as a really really good captain, and I really hope he will be there for a long time.
Okay, yes. Personally, mere pani one of the favorite players, Jordan Anderson. When I admire him as a captain, I admire him as a leader, and obviously, like we discussed, his gameplay has improved as well. And I think Mohit has, like Mohit say, when you are still back here, as a game, we used to hear a lot of noise about like Henderson, and I think we both were the two of the people who stood up against Henderson, saying we defended Henderson like ekdam verbally. So Mohit, what do you have to say? Like, how much of a leader do you see in Henderson, and Kisa, like about Henderson?
I think there's nothing to be told about his leadership. It's there to see. किनभने from age group England खेल्दादेखि नै he's been captain. So if he did not have that in him, एज ग्रुपको क्याप्टेन, त्यसपछि लिभरपुल आयो, ब्रेन्डन रोजर्स उसलाई क्याप्टेन बनायो. लाइक ही वाज रिप्लेसिङ स्टिभन जेरार्ड. लाइक who is going to replace Steven Gerrard? No one can. So Steven Gerrardलाई रिप्लेस गर्ने हेन्डरसनमा देखेको हो भनेपछि अरूहरूले जज गरेर केही हुँदैन क्या. द पिपल हु एक्चुअली वर्क इन फुटबल, इभन सिनियर लेभल इङ्ल्यान्डको पनि कुनै क्याप्टेन थियो, अनलेस एफए डिसाइडेड फर सम रिजन टु मेक ह्यारी केन द क्याप्टेन. आई डोन्ट नो फर वाट रिजन्स. सो त्यहीँबाट देखिन्छ कि वेन अल द प्रोफेसनल्स आर ट्रस्टिङ हिम, हि इज गट द्याट इन हिम भनेर. अनि अब अहिले यो सिजन हेर्दा पनि अब हि इज लेड द टिम इन सच अ ग्रेट वे. अब गेमहरू हुँदा रेफ्रीहरूसँग कन्सल्ट गर्नेदेखि लिएर आफ्नै टिमहरूसँग कुरा गर्ने. र आई रिमेम्बर वान इन्स्टेन्स वेन हि एन्ड भ्यान डाइक ह्याड अ गो एट इच अदर. लाइक इमेजिन अहिलेको लिभरपुलको टिममा भ्यान डाइकले केही भन्यो भने भ्यान डाइकसँग ब्याक एन्ड फोर्थ कुरा गर्ने कसले सक्छ होला? Nobody could. And Henderson was there. And even after the game, when the reporters like brought that up, they were like, "It's okay, it's just healthy discussion. It happens all the time. It's always good." मलाई एउटा हेन्डरसन चाहिँ एउटा कुरामा केमा पनि अनलकी लाग्छ भने उसको पासिङ रेन्ज हेर्नुपर्छ. यस्तो खतरा छ उसको पासिङ रेन्ज होइन. तैपनि he's been played out of position most of the time. Kenny Ragis हुँदा he was played right wingमा होइन. अनि त्यसपछि people are like judging him and stuff without realizing he's played out of the position. अनि Jurgen Klopp आएपछि पनि he was played as a number 6 for most of the time. अनि मान्छेहरू खालि ब्याक पास गर्यो, साइड पास गर्यो, ब्याक पास गर्यो, फरवर्ड पासै गरेन भन्छ. अब त्यस्तो खतरा पासिङ रेन्ज भएको मान्छेले फरवर्ड पास गर्न सक्दैन होला त. वेन यु प्लेइङ आउट अफ पोजिसन, तिम्रो त अब फर्स्ट माइन्ड सेटै हुन्छ आइम प्लेइङ आउट अफ पोजिसन. फर्स्ट प्रायोरिटी त एरर नगर्ने हुन्छ नि त. द्याट अल्सो contributes to the passes that he made, and even maybe that's how coach told him to play, because कोहीले त्यस्तो राम्रो पास निकाल्न सक्छ भने गेममा गएर निकाली पनि रह हुन्थ्यो पहिला भने अल अफ अ सडन त्यो बन्द गर्ने त हुँदैन नि त. सो देयर हैज टु बी समथिङ द्याट द कोचेस ट्रस्टेड हिम विथ. अरू कसैलाई आउट अफ पोजिसन खेलाउन ट्रस्ट नगरेर हेन्डरसनलाई ट्रस्ट गरेको हो नि त. सो इट एक्सप्लेन्स एभ्रिथिङ. सो अब जहिले मान्छेलाई ब्याक पास खेल्छ, साइड पास खेल्छ, अनि म पुरा बुझ्दिनँ. सो अहिले चाहिँ आई नो आई अलवेज सपोर्टेड हिम. अब त्यो मान्छेहरूले अब क्रिटिसाइज गर्न थालेछ आजकल चाहिँ म इग्नोरै गरिदिन्छु क्या. त्यही हो. तर या ही इज बीन अ ग्रेट लिडर.
Yeah, like they say, ignorance is bliss. Of like you cannot argue with stupid people, and they'll just only bring you down to their level, you know. Okay, so talking about another bright lad in our squad, you know, it's Trent Alexander-Arnold, and that guy is amazing, personally for me. And there's been talk about him being shifted to midfield, you know. So Bardan, what do you think? Like, should he be shifted to midfield or let him continue as a right back? And then, do you see him like leading the team later? Or maybe Van Dijk should take over captaincy when John Anderson is not available or he's moved on, or what do you think?
I'd like to start answering this by saying that as much as we love this team, the current team, good teams come in batches, right? Good teams come in batches and phases, and this team, I think, has a solid 3-4 years at least and I think we'll be fine for the next 3-4 years with how we're playing, at least for the next couple of seasons, how we're playing, our formations, our players. But after that, the phase will end. And whether it be, players get old, our midfield is aging. I don't think Henderson has probably 3, 4, 5 more solid years. After that, things have to change. I think Alexander-Arnold is definitely the next captain. In my eyes, he is who should be wearing the armband next. He has been, and there's several reasons for this. Foremost, he doesn't yet have the kind of command that Henderson has, but he's also very young, and he's learning. He's learning from the best, absolutely. But he's at the end of the day, he's a scouser. He's from Liverpool, and I don't think that always matters. With Henderson, it did, but that's because Henderson was a natural, absolutely, naturally leader on the Henderson. So I didn't think it really mattered with him. But I think with someone else, especially with the kind of academy we have, with the kind of young crop of talent we have, in the academy. I think it really is going to matter as far as who can, really help them mold themselves, who can really help them develop, prosper, etc., etc. And I think it's also important to look at Alexander Arnold's history of having been captain. I was listening to a BBC interview with, I think he was talking to Emma Saunders yesterday, and he mentioned that he's pretty much been in a leadership role in every single team that he's been a part of. He started playing football when he was 3, 4 years old. He, Liverpool, born and bred, grew up in a very competitive environment, which is also very important. Someone said that, one of his mates said that even if it was a little game of, like a make believe game, he still always wants to win. Then that's again really important as well. So, with his experience and in being a captain and, his how mature he is for someone who's so young, I think captaincy definitely is next for him. As far as his position goes, I think he will naturally be shifted to midfield once this phase of playing dies out, which I expect it to in the next couple of years. So, and also, like people keep talking about his defensive abilities, and that he makes the odd mistake going back, and that's just because he's not defensively minded. And for now, it works. For now, it works given how he is such solid cover from the center backs who are so agile. And I think that once our center backs cease to be that agile, be it because Van Dijk ages or Joe Gomez won't age that soon, but whatever it might be, I think we're going to need someone who's a little bit defensively minded, and think that would be the perfect time to phase him out to the midfield. So looking forward to that. Honestly, I think it's going to be great, but definitely a captain in him.
Okay, yes, thank you, Bardan. I think I am going to pick a question for you and directed towards you. So there was a question like, why do you think we lost to Atletico Madrid in second leg? Is it because of we're unlucky, or was it because of fatigue, or was it because of lack of squad depth? What do you think, Bardan? What do you think was the reason behind the loss at Atletico?
Oh, was that for me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Like I said earlier, I think the first reason is I think Simeone really played to his strengths initially, and I think playing two up top, like I mentioned earlier, has always been kind of that weird weakness of ours. I don't know for what reason, which is why I'm a little bit scared of Dominic Calvin and what's his name, Richarlison playing up top today as well. I think that definitely just like for some reason just got to our head. The first leg was honestly I did not enjoy watching the first leg at all. The second leg was very weird. I thought we were on top for the 90 minutes. I think we should have really buried the game there. Didn't win, didn't manage to, and then Adrian, of course, had a absolute carious moment there. I think if the season had continued, he would have faced more flack than Karius even did for the final, because that was terrible. That was absolutely horrendous. I think it just worked out in his favor that the pandemic started, so the focus shifted. But that was terrible. I think we just really got unlucky, and then the call from the referee to. I don't know. It was a very weird game. I don't know if the players were already starting to think about the pandemic or what. I just think there was a weird air around the game. I don't try to think about it as much, but then a couple of days ago I did watch it again, some highlights, and I just think I don't know. I don't have an answer as to why we lost, but I think the two up top really undid us.
Yeah, exactly. It was a weird moment. I personally, Malaysia ke laga थियो भने the game should not even have gone forward,
Okay.
and because Madrid match there was starting of the outbreak, and then there's also been talk about like how much of infectious that game was for spreading of the coronavirus in the UK and especially in Liverpool. So yeah, personally I agree with you, and there were a couple of weird moments, weird decisions made. Okay, so moving on to the next question, I think there was one for Paras. Okay, who has been your absolute favorite Liverpool player of all time? I think there's no need to answer that. We can all say for that. But now there's another question along with that. Like, which player is the best for you in the current squad? And yeah, who do you see excelling in this squad?
I like Mane. I mean, I still like Mane. Mane is somebody who I felt was, like a workhorse who's like just keep pushing. He just used to, you know, push himself and run around. And then when Van Dijk came in, I'm like, okay, here's somebody who's now changed the dimension of the whole team. So it will probably be between the two of them. If I had to pick one, it'd probably be Mane for me from this current squad.
Yeah, obviously, like Mane has been our most prolific player this season, and when Salah's failed to deliver, obviously, like Mane stepped up and then filled in his boots, and then the team in general gels really well. Yeah, Joydai, I also hear a lot of people giving slack to Firmino. What do you have to say about Bobby Firmino in particular? And do you think like he is kind of wasted up top, or would you want him to see in a like more of a center attack midfield role?
Bobby Firmino honestly is the best player. When you go to the ground, त्यो ग्राउन्डमा बसेर गेम हेरेको बेलामा कहिलेकाहीँ मैले के गर्छु भने जस्तो म एनफिल्ड रोड एन्डमा छु, हामीले डिफेन्ड गरिरहेको छ भने म भ्यान्डाइकलाई हेरेर बस्छु कि उसको पोजिसन कहाँ कहाँ जान्छ भनेर। अनि कप एन्डमा छ हामीले एट्याक गरिरहेको छ भने मैले प्रायः जस्तो कि हेन्डरसनको मुभमेन्ट हेर्छु कि बबी फर्मिनोको मुभमेन्ट हेर्छु कि ओ माई गड द्याट गाय इज अ जिनियस। ऊ चाहिँ त्यो चेसको प्लेयर जस्तो हो कि ही नोज वेयर टु गो, he is always linking up players. Honestly, that guy, अघि पारस दाइले भन्नुभयो माने इज द बेस्ट फर मी पर्सनली। वेन जब हामीले माने साइन गरेको थियौँ त्यति बेला म किङकेन स्ट्यान्डमा बिचमा बसेर हेरेको थिएँ, माने एकदम स्पिडमा जाने यताउति, अनि त्यति बेलै थाहा थियो कि मलाई ओ माई गड आई थिङ्क वी साइन द बेस्ट प्लेयर भनेर। तर पछि बबी फर्मिनो जसरी युरोन क्लबको टिममा खेल्न थाले, ऊ जसरी उसको मुभमेन्ट हेर्नुपर्छ है, wherever he is playing, the way he is playing, I think is the best. Lots of people criticize him because people do not understand what he does for the team. तर उसको मुभमेन्ट, उसले जसरी लिङ्क अप प्ले गर्छ, माने र सालाको बिचमा बसेर जसरी उसले गेम कन्ट्रोल गर्छ फरवार्डमा, I think that is absolutely brilliant. I think he will need to continue what he's doing, and I think that's the reason why Jurgen Klopp actually wants him to play the way he's playing right now.
Yep, definitely. So मलाई पनि personally when I look at Bobby Firmino playing, मलाई चाहिँ what I love about him is that the way he pulls the defenders and then creates space for Salah and Mane, that is the best thing about him. And I hear a lot of people saying, "Hey, you goal," and then that comes in, but if you look at Bobby, you understand why Jurgen Klopp plays him. You understand why Jurgen Klopp rates him, and then you also understand why a player of Thierry Henry's caliber regards him in such high respect. So I think that is one of the best things about Bobby that goes often underlooked. Yeah, and sorry, Binod, I think you were about to say something and I cut you off. So
मैले निश्चलको पोजिसन लिन लागेको होइन, एज अ जर्नलिस्टै भएर होला त्यो क्रस गर्न मन लागिहाल्छ कि मैले चाहिँ जयजीलाई सोध्नु लागेको, लास्ट टाइम उहाँहरू चाहिँ मर्सीसाइड डर्बी हेर्नु भएको एन्फिल्डमा, उहाँ र अनुपमजीले त्यसको एक्सपिरियन्स अलिकति सेयर गरिदियो भने हामीलाई पनि इन्ट्रेस्टिङ होला जस्तो लाग्छ।
Okay, Jay.
Okay, ल पर्फेक्ट। ओके, सो दुईटा स्टोरी सेयर गर्छु है म। पहिला लास्ट इयरको डर्बी जुन डिभोक ओरिगीले लास्ट सेकेन्डमा गोल हानेको थियो नि, हो त्यो गेमको पहिला स्टोरी सेयर गर्छु। त्यति बेला म मेन स्ट्यान्डमा थिएँ है, अनि मेन स्ट्यान्डमा टुवर्ड्स द एभर्टन फ्यान साइड। ओके, सो बेसिकली when you're looking at me, the goal was scored on the other side. एकदम टेन्स इन्भाइरोमेन्ट, 95 minutes plus. Of course we can't see the clock, whatever. त्यो टिभी स्क्रिन केही पनि छैन स्टेडियममा, इट्स पर्फेक्ट स्टेडियम फर फ्यान्स टु इन्जोय। अनि लास्ट सेकेन्डमा जब डिभोक ओरिगीले गोल हान्यो, एभर्टन फ्यानहरू यति पागल भयो, एभर्टन फ्यानहरूले मेरै आँखा अगाडि एउटाले त फोन फाल्यो कि ग्राउन्डमा है। अनि त्यसपछि त्यो पुरा धुवासँग उडायो, अब हामी एकदम क्रेजी पागल भयो, हाँस्यो, रमाइलो भयो। अनि त्यो एक्सपिरियन्सले गर्दा त्यो अस्ति भर्खर गएको गेम जुन हामीले कतिले जितेको थियो, 4-2, 4-1, I can't remember the score, but
5-2.
what was the score?
5-2, I think. 5-2, I think.
Yeah. Okay, so that game, actually I was very nervous. I don't know why I was so nervous about that game. And त्यो गेममा चाहिँ म यहाँ बसेको थिएँ, त्यसपछि यहाँ डिभाइडर थियो, त्यसपछि यता एभर्टन फ्यानहरू थियो के। सो अभियसली इन द बिगिनिङ ब्यान्टर गोज अन होइन, उनीहरू हामीलाई गाली गर्छ, हामी उनीहरूलाई गाली गर्छ। अनि हाम्रो एउटा टिपिकल सङ छ सिन्स 1995, इट्स अमेजिङ। उनीहरूको फेसमा हेर त्यो गीत गाउन थालेपछि उनीहरू पुरा स्वेयर गर्न थाल्छ, गाली गर्न थाल्छ, अब अनेक निस्किन्छ क्या। अनि जसरी हामीले गेम कन्ट्रोल गर्दै अनि हामीले गोल हान्दै गए, त्यसपछि अनि एभर्टन फ्यानहरू चुप लाग्न थाल्यो। First time ever in my life, I actually saw Everton fans actually just being so quiet and appreciating our team and swearing at their team. Okay, it was absolutely amazing. But before that match, I was so nervous. त्यो कस्तो हुन्छ भने स्पेसली किन एभर्टन वाज नट डुइङ सो ग्रेट अन्टिल द्याट पोइन्ट राइट सो अलवेज आई फाइन्ड when it comes to like derby games टिमले नराम्रो खेलिरहेको बेलामा आफ्नो बिगेस्ट अपोनेन्टसित खेल्दाखेरि फर सम रिजन दे रेज देयर गेम है त्यही कुराले मलाई एकदम डर लागिरहेको थियो क्या तर जुन तरिकाले हामीले उनीहरूलाई पुरा डिसमेन्टल गर्यो Oh my god, first time ever, more than the football, I actually enjoyed the look in their face. Seriously, it was priceless.
Okay, yes, that all was there. Now, obviously, the celebrations are a big part of football, and we all saw in our last season. So when we won the Champions League, it was crazy amount of celebrations, crazy victory parade. Yeah, obviously, of this season, it is going to be like short.
अनि अर्को
It is
कुरा
not
के
going to take place. हजुर
अनि हाम्रो जयजी म अनि अनुक्रमजीले चाहिँ त्यो 4-0 को बार्सिलोनाको स्टार्ट गरेर सुरुमा हामीले हो कि बार्सिलोना के अरे वेम्बलीमा गएर 4-0 को म्याच हेरेको होइन त्यहीँबाट चाहिँ अनि यो सेकेन्ड लेगमा अस्ति 4-0 कन्टिन्यू भएको हो कि हामीले चाहिँ प्री सिजन फ्रेन्डली हेरेको थियौँ बसेर
एउटा मलाई सानो एउटा स्टोरी
मानेको फर्स्ट म्याच पनि त्यही नै थियो
Sorry guys, I just want to share one more story with you.
भन्नु त
So लिभरपुल म्याच हेर्न जाँदाखेरि प्रायः जस्तो सधैँ म आफै ड्राइभ गरेर जान्छु होइन अनि नेपाली फ्यानहरूलाई लिएर जाँदाखेरि म आफ्नै कारमा सबैलाई लिएर जान्छु रिसेन्टली चाहिँ नि कोचमा जान थालेको थिएँ तर कारमा जाँदाखेरि चाहिँ जहिले पनि त्यो एउटा छ कि मेरो माइन्डमा मैले एकै ठाउँमा पार्क गर्नुपर्छ भनेर अनि त्यो मैले पार्किङ पहिले बुक गर्छु I have to go to the place. There is one space. If I don't get that space, I go and talk to them. I ask them to empty the space, and I always park my car there.
Superstition.
Okay, yes, that is part of a superstition. We're talking about another superstition that we have. Mohitra, I personally, we never predict games, right? But I don't know about if you guys do. So, would love to hear about the predictions for today's game. Anyone?
No,
I'll go.
absolutely not.
Okay, Bardan.
So I mean, yeah, like I know why you guys don't. We have this long-standing tradition of not predicting in the group. I know, but I still will. A bit also because I've kind of bet on the game, so I hope this this ends up happening. And not starting Salah kind of throws me off a little bit because he was going to be the first scorer. But I think it's going to be a hard-fought 2-1. I kind of expect them to go ahead. They will probably, score the first goal, some freak goal, and then I think we're going to come back. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 with Bobby to score both goals. One hope in the last minute.
Nice. Okay, Paras, do you have any predictions for the game?
3-1. We're winning.
3-1. Okay, who do you think is scoring first?
Doesn't matter. Anyone score the goals.
Really nice.
Give us the points.
Okay, Binod Dai?
1-0 or 2-1. Anything? Winning goal चाहिँ डेभिड ओरिजी नै होला
Jai, do you want to predict you are going to stick with no predictions like us?
I do not want to predict because my predictions never come true. I'm really bad at this.
Okay, one thing I will predict is that we're going to win the league. I think this is everyone's prediction, right? So as much as the rivals hated it, as much as they were dreading it, as much as they were running from it, destiny arrives all the same to go Thanos. So yeah, this season we are going to win the league. So it is going to be a bummer, like not having everyone around us and celebrating us winning the league. So even in our own capacity, I mean, like how are you going to be celebrating whenever we win the league? Whenever that is going to happen, I hope it is going to be at the end of this week. So anyone can go ahead and then you can say like how you are going to be winning the league, celebrating winning the league. Okay, Jai.
Right. Okay. So if we win tonight and if we win on Wednesday, then that's when we win the league, right?
Yes, we win the league then, but still we have to, I think, wait for the trophy to be presented. But the league will be won.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Trophy for that's secondary now because we all know we're gonna lift the
Yeah,
trophy.
exactly.
Yeah.
But I think what's gonna happen on Wednesday evening, as soon as we win the match, I think I'm just gonna come out and scream.
Okay, Mohit,
निश्चललाई दुईटा
Mohit,
request
what?
चाहिए।
Okay, Hazur, Hazur.
Yeah. First thing is, if we can, I think it'd be fun to create kind of like a fan zone for
Uh-huh,
Wednesday's game. I
uh-huh,
know the logistics are a little bit difficult, especially with
yeah, exactly.
but let's see what happens with that. Another thing is if we win the league, I think I mean which we are, we are going to win the league. I think a really good quote I read on Twitter a couple days ago is if you don't trade Bobby Firmino, you don't know ball. है त्यो चाहिँ त्यसको शर्ट बनाउनु पर्यो जस्तो लाग्छ।
Really nice one, really nice one. Okay, so Vardhan, TV personally, how are you going to celebrate?
I think कस्तो भने it's very weird because I'm in Denver right now and we do have I'm new here but we do have a Liverpool supporters club होइन अब कस्तो भने we're still in the middle of a pandemic so I don't know how risk averse I am तर जान पनि मन छ गएर celebrate पनि गर्नु मन छ तर I'm also being cautious so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to listen to Jurgen Klopp celebrate with a glass of beer at home for now. And then when things, when we're gonna, he said that we're gonna have a parade no matter when, we might have
Exactly.
what we are. So त्यो बेला चाहिँ सबजनासँग गरौँ ल अहिले चाहिँ एक ग्लास कार्ल्सबर्ग त्यही हो
Exactly. Yeah, our same goes for us as well, na? Okay, Vinod, yeah.
सबैले चाहिँ लिभरपुलको क्रिस्टल पाइल्ससँगको होम म्याच चाहिँ मार्क गरिरहेको छ एज अ टाइटल सेलिब्रेसनको लागि भनेर र कसैले पनि अर्को कुरा मार्क गरे जस्तो लागेन मलाई यहाँ चाहिँ होइन यदि आज लिभरपुलले जित्छ होइन मेबी यो वाइल्ड ऊ होला होइन प्रेडिक्सन होला होइन र भोलि बर्नलीसँग चाहिँ सिटी हार्यो भने टाइटल त भोलि नै आउँदैछ
Yeah, but considering how strong City are and how they blew Arsenal away, I think everyone mentally, yeah, mentally everyone's prepared that City are going to win it because last season we faced that agony. We waited for them to slip up. We kept on waiting for them to slip up, even until the last game they did slip up, but then they got the advantage of us and then they won the league in an excruciatingly painful manner for us. So yeah, nonetheless, it is going to be ours to lose. But it's already ours to lose. So yeah, about going forward, I think celebrations are going to be cut short. Even for us in Nepal, everyone like we have not met in ages, especially in the pandemic, it's going to be difficult. Yeah, just like Jurgen Klopp said, I don't think like anything will stop us from celebrating when this thing is all over, and I think everyone will be the same. Okay, so I'd love to hear some final thoughts before we all part off, and then I think we have 9 minutes until the game. So if you have any last words, feel free. Okay, Jai.
Right, okay. मलाई पहिले अलिकति भन्न मन लागिरहेको एउटा चिज थियो फ्यानहरूलाई स्पेसली नेप्लिज लिभरपुल फ्यान्स तपाईँहरू अब अहिले सबै वी होप दिस विल be finished pretty soon. There won't be any more pandemic. There will be some sort of a medicine or something will come out and we'll be able to go out and enjoy like normal like before. So future मा अब सबै नर्मल भइसकेपछि कोही पनि नेपाली लिभरपुल फ्यानहरू लिभरपुल फुटबल म्याच हेर्न जान चाहनुहुन्छ भने तपाईहरुले दुईटा चिज गर्नुपर्छ है एउटा चाहिँ तपाईहरुको मेम्बरशिप हुनुपर्छ फुल लिभरपुल मेम्बरशिप हुनुपर्छ अनि नम्बर 1 थियो अनि नम्बर 2 चाहिँ please do not contact me like 3 days before saying can I go to the match. It is not possible. Liverpool Football Club को टिकट पाउनु भनेको त्यो चाहिँ माउन्ट एभरेस्ट चढ्नु भन्दा पनि गाह्रो चिज हो त्यही भएर एटलिस्ट 6 months नोटिस दिनु मलाई अनि हाम्रो कस्तो हुन्छ भने अफिसियल लिभरपुल फुटबल सपोर्टर्स क्लबलाई चाहिँ एलोकेसन हुन्छ है वर्षभरिको टिकटहरु एलोकेसन त्यो 6 महिना अगाडि नै एलोकेट गरेको हुन्छ so I already know which matches we are getting the tickets for and maximum we get up to 10 home matches 6 tickets per match okay so मलाई तपाईहरु जो जान चाहनुहुन्छ तपाईहरुले 6 महिना अगाडि नै प्लिज I know it's too long but that's how it works है 6 महिना अगाडि नै कन्ट्याक्ट गर्नुस् तपाईहरुसित फुल मेम्बरशिप कार्ड हुनुपर्छ अनि तपाईको नाम र डिटेल म राख्छु अनि त्यसपछि अनि when it comes to getting the ticket we'll do it that's one thing second thing we never ask any Liverpool football fans to pay extra money for the tickets. The most expensive ticket price is only £59, by the way. So we never charge anyone more than £59. And if you are in London, You will go with me. Only thing is, you will be listening to all the boring songs I listen in my car. That's the only downside. Apart from that, you will have a good ride.
Thank you, Jay.
So,
Thank you so much, Jay. That is
so,
one bit of
so,
information that I
so Jai,
personally
how
wanted
many
to
times
get out there as well. Right.
so Jai,
Abandon
how many times the Everest Chadse as a Mount Everest?
Too
Countless
many
times.
times.
Jai, I
Okay,
have a
Mohit.
question.
Okay, Mohit.
एउटा मेम्बरसिप ले एउटा मात्र टिकट पाउने हो कि कस्तो हुन्छ?
Yeah, so basically we get up to 6 tickets per match. Okay, so 10 home matches like per match we get 6 tickets. So एकचोटिमा 6 जना भन्दा जान मिल्दैन. अनि to be fair with everyone, what I try to do is if there are too many people who want to go, I always give them better chance. So sometimes if it means that I can't go, I'm happy for anyone else to go, honestly.
Okay. Thank you, Jay. Okay, so before we part ways, Binod, do you have any last words before the match or for our fans that are watching this show in general?
Midnight celebration गर्नुपर्छ आजलाई.
Yeah, okay. So Mohit or Bardan, do you have anything to like final words just though?
मेरो विचारमा चाहिँ what I'm thinking right now is, when you're watching games, you're sometimes over excited, कहिलेकाहीँ होइन छिटो होस् गोल्स गरौँ यो गरौँ त्यो गरौँ जस्तो लाग्छ, but it's been 100 days since we watched this. We're on the brink of winning the
Exactly.
title. I'm going to try to enjoy every single minute. जे होस् त्यहाँ boring backward passing play भने I'm just going to be glued to the television and just be enjoying every single second, and I urge everyone else to do the same.
Okay, Mohit.
Yeah, same. Since it's back after so many days, let's try to enjoy this as much as we can. Instead of criticizing players for a little bit of mistake here and there, let's just enjoy it. The league is hopefully going to be ours, so let's save that aggression to celebrate the league, and let's just enjoy the game for today. And good luck to us.
Yeah, thank you, Mohit. Yeah, I think that is going to be how we should do things. Okay, so last but definitely not the least, again, Paras, what would you like to say to our viewers or to the general Liverpool fans that are watching right now?
I think I don't know when our cricket season is going to start. So when the transfer window opens, I would like Jurgen Club to sign me in. I'll just stay with the club and understand.
We'd love to see that, Dave. We'd love to see that.
Yeah. I'll just stay with the team and understand how international team at that level function. No, jokes apart, I think it's great that we're here. That I think the game's about to begin. All of us should now sit back and enjoy the game. And to everybody out there, stay safe. These are not the easiest of times. I know football is something that all of us love, but I think there are bigger things in life, and hopefully all of us can come out of this pandemic together.
Exactly. So that brings us to the final moments of our show today. I hope we will be hosting this session in the future more often. So I'd like to personally thank every one of you who joined in, every one of you watching from home, and every one of us who are going to be watching the match and cheering Liverpool on through whatever capacity we can. So yeah, heaps of thanks to everyone who's joined in, to Bardan, to Binod Dai, to Mohit, to Jai Dai, to Paras Dai. Like I know the schedules are all like messed up. You're across all different time zones, and yet like we have a common platform to talk about Liverpool, about what we love most. So yeah, many thanks to everyone, and have a great morning, have a great day, and have a great night. Let's hope Liverpool win it. Thank you all for attending. Thank you so much.
Right.
Thank you, Mr. for doing this.
Never walk alone.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You'll never walk alone. Let's go enjoy.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
All right, so that brings us to the end of our session today. I think you all had some good times with like seeing fellow Liverpool fans from all over the world, like from England, from United States, and from Nepal. We are thinking of like hosting another watch party soon for the next game. As I say, it came a little too early. So next game, we are planning to have some sort of interactions between the fans, and I promise you this is going to be going on for a significant amount of time. Even though there are breaks, even though there is football, there's not football, there is the transfer season. We can always talk about that. So yeah, I will assure you that we will be presenting this show every, uh, if we can, every week, if not like every fortnight. So yeah, stay tuned to the page, stay tuned to the group, and then we'll also be uploading our shows to YouTube. So yeah, subscribe to us on YouTube as well. Yeah, and thank you. And let's watch the match. You'll never walk alone. Ale, ale, ale. Let's do this.